Sawadee good morning and welcome to Newsline. I'm Chalapansa Narula. It's Wednesday's edition, November the 5th. Let's have a look at today's stories. His Majesty the King was yesterday reported with abdominal pain and high fever caused by the inflammation of a small diverticulum of the large intestine, originally diagnosed over 7 years ago. The latest announcement concerning the royal stay at Sirirat Hospital issued by the Bureau of the Royal Household said His Majesty once again experienced a pain in his abdomen and had fever, while his breathing was slightly faster. The team of doctors then conducted blood tests and x-rays on His Majesty, which showed signs of inflammation of the diverticulum. The doctors therefore prescribed antibiotics, resulting in His Majesty's gradual improvement. The statement said the doctors will continue the same treatment for His Majesty for a while and will give His Majesty the food that is proper for the symptoms until the inflammation is treated. The statement also quoted the doctors as saying the inflammation of the diverticulum of the large intestine may occur periodically. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward, and we have a quick announcement to make. Khon Kaen Airport has resumed its operation since 3 a.m. this morning after being closed for almost 2 days following an incident where a Thai Airways jet skidded off the runway on Monday night. And now let's have a look at today's headlines. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha chaired the opening ceremony of the project entitled Clean City, Happy People in honor of His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej on the occasion of his 87th birthday in December of this year at Sala Pirom Phakdi Pavilion in Lumpini Park. The project was organized by the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment, the Ministry of Interior, and the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration. Minister of Natural Resources and Environment, General Dawpong Ratanasuwan, said the project aimed to promote Thai people's disciplines and habits of keeping things clean, especially in the separation of household waste for recycling bins. At the event, Prime Minister Prayut and distinguished guests also floated environmentally friendly krathongs ahead of the Loi Krathong Festival, which will be celebrated on November the 6th of this year. And the Prime Minister has prepared all information to be brought up for discussion with other Southeast Asian leaders at the upcoming ASEAN Summit in Myanmar. According to the Director General of the Department of ASEAN Affairs of the Foreign Ministry, Kun Athayut Sisamut, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha will be in Myanmar for the annual gathering of regional leaders during November 12th and 13th. Mr. Athayut added that as the focus of all leaders will be regional development and cooperation before the ASEAN Economic Community materializes in 2015, General Prayut has already met with related agencies to collect ideas to be shared at the summit next week. Another topic that will be raised is the regional connectivity, including more special economic zones along Thailand's border areas, which are hoped to be increased to 12 from 5 areas currently in place. And the Cabinet has endorsed in principle the ministerial regulation on protection of workers in fishing vessels at sea, alongside a ministerial regulation that bans the employment of children under the age of 15 as farm labourers. Government spokesperson Yongyut Mayalap announced the endorsements after Tuesday's meeting of the Cabinet of Ministers. He explained that as part of the government's policy to curb human trafficking, the ministerial regulation on protection of workers in fishing vessel bans the employment of persons younger than 18 years old on board fishing vessels. The ministerial regulation on agriculture sector labour protection, which the Cabinet also endorsed on Tuesday, bans the employment of persons younger than 15 in the agricultural sector. The Cabinet also approved an additional 612 million baht to compensate rice traders who have been maintaining 4 million tons of unhusked rice in the government stockpile for the year 2014 for the interest difference incurred. Also, the Cabinet and the National Council for Peace and Order confirmed readiness to welcome non-National Reform Council members to take part in the national reform. Speaking after a joint meeting between the Cabinet and the National Council for Peace and Order, or NCPO, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha disclosed that both sides agreed with an idea of setting up a working committee to help with the country's reform. Prime Minister Prayut said those failing to be selected as NRC members will be picked as new committee members. The remaining budget will be spent on the selection process. Each group of National Reform Council members has the right to appoint a committee of 5 members. Other topics discussed in the meeting included upcoming major international events such as the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Meeting, or APEC, to be held during November 9 till 11th in China, ASEAN Summit during November 12th till the 13th in Myanmar, as well as law amendments. The Ministry of Transport is preparing to propose a number of measures for tackling traffic congestion in major provinces to the Commission for Management of Road Traffic for consideration. Deputy Transport Minister Akhom Termpithiyapaisit stated that the ministry has tasked the Office of Transport and Traffic Policy and Planning and other related agencies to complete their strategies for the alleviation of traffic gridlock in Bangkok, as well as other 6 provinces, namely Chiang Mai, Phuket, Nakhon Ratchasima, Khon Kaen, Phitsanulok, and Songkhla. Upon completion, the strategies will be subject to thorough studies by the Commission for Management of Road Traffic. According to the Deputy Minister, some of the measures seek to raise the efficiency of traffic management around construction sites of railway and electric train projects. The agencies in charge of those projects, such as the State Railway of Thailand and the Mass Rapid Transit Authority of Thailand, will be obligated to work closely with city officials and the police to ensure a smooth traffic flow. Another project being mulled is the construction of 9 additional bridges across the Chao Phraya River, which aims to relieve congestion on the existing bridges during rush hours and improve connectivity between inner Bangkok and the Thonburi side. According to the initial work plan, the new bridges will be built during the year 2017 till 2021. The National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, has showed no worries about this Thursday's meeting to deliberate the impeachment motion against former Senate and House Speakers as filed by the anti-graft body. NLA member Tuang Antachai says the lawmakers are not pressured or worried about the upcoming meeting to discuss whether or not the NLA will accept the motion to impeach former House Speaker Somsak Kiatsuranonn and former Senate Speaker Nikhom Wairachaphanit on grounds that the 2 speakers allegedly abused their power by attempting to change the way how senators are selected. He made known that only the NLA president has the authority to decide whether or not to accept the motion, which was filed by the National Anti-Corruption Commission, or NACC. Should the NLA resolve to accept the motion, Mr. Tuang said a committee will be set up to invite the accused and the accuser for questioning. This process will take approximately 45 days, after which the NLA will decide if it will go ahead with the impeachment. Meanwhile, NLA President Phonphet Vichitcholachai gave a strong assurance that the deliberation will not be influenced or manipulated by the National Council for Peace and Order, adding that the NCPO has never given an order to the Assembly, as the decision whether to accept the case rests in the hands of the NLA. The NLA President reaffirmed that the NLA will adhere to the principles of impartiality and justice and that the deliberation will be conducted transparently. The impeachment case will be brought to the consideration of the NLA at their meeting on Thursday. The Constitution Drafting Committee, which comprises 36 members, has been approved by the President of the National Reform Council. NRC President Thienchai Kiranan revealed that he had approved the appointment of the list of 36 drafting committee members that was presented to him yesterday after the Cabinet and the National Council for Peace and Order had nominated 11 additional names, including Drafting Committee Chairman Bawansak Uwano. On this occasion, the NRC President expressed his confidence that the 36 newly appointed members have the extensive knowledge and are suitable for the positions. He also voiced his belief that the new committee will adhere to the principle of impartiality, concluding that the 36 appointees will be accepted by all sides. The Election Commission is set to open a coordination centre at its office in each province in order to collect suggestions from the people regarding the national reform process. At the request of the NCPO and the National Reform Council, EC Secretary General Puchong Nutrabong made known that coordination centers will be established at EC offices in all 77 provinces with the responsibility of supporting the NRC's work. He said preparations are being made so as to have the centers up and running at the soonest possible time. Each center's duty will be divided into two parts. The first is to accept the people's opinions and advice concerning the 11 areas of reform, and the second is to host discussions between provincial NRC members and local residents. The public input will be compiled into a guideline and presented to the NRC for consideration when implementing reform in each of the 11 areas, which include politics, national administration, judicial system, local administration, education, economy, energy, public health and environment, also media and society. Moving on, the Minister of Industry pushes for the development of the Thai halal industry by launching a pilot project for 150 entrepreneurs with the objective to help them enter the ASEAN market. The Department of Industry Promotion cooperates with Singaporean and Chinese entrepreneurs in organizing the pilot project, which features business matching between halal SMEs and OTOP producers. The department hopes that 35 of them will sign business deals worth around 1 billion baht. The department has set plans to spend 29 million baht in raising the standards of Thai halal entrepreneurs in terms of production and marketing. With the goal to increase Thai halal export growth to more than 8% a year, the department will help the entrepreneurs pass more standards so that their products are accepted by Muslim consumers. Thai halal exports were worth almost $3 billion after the first half of this year. The Thai halal products, which have a tendency to grow significantly, include rice, refined sugar, frozen vegetables and fruits, frozen instant food, and organic halal food. The Joint Standing Committee on Commerce, Industry and Banking has forecast that Thai exports will grow 0.5% this year, while the GDP growth estimate is put in the range of 1 to 1.5%. The Joint Standing Committee on Commerce, Industry and Banking, or JSC-CIB President Isara Wongkusolkit disclosed that the committee has convened a meeting to follow up on the economic condition and found signs of slight improvement in October compared to the month before. He said positive factors contributing to such improvement include the increase in private consumption and the government's acceleration of budget spending. Judging from the recovery in tourism and the approaching holiday season, Mr. Isara believed domestic consumption will especially pick up the pace during the last 2 months of the year, allowing the economy to rebound to a certain extent. He forecasted that economic expansion for the whole year will be around 1 to 1.5%. As for exports, the president noted that the growth is gradually moving closer to a positive figure, averaging at -3% for the first 10 months of this year. He expected the yearly average to end up at 0.5%. However, Mr. Isara pointed out that the export situation still requires close monitoring, particularly in terms of the baht value. He said although the Thai baht is relatively weak compared to the appreciating US dollar, it appears to be stronger than the currencies of neighboring countries, leading to Thai exporters' disadvantage and the need to reduce their product prices to stay in the competition. The Minister of Agriculture and Agricultural Cooperatives said deforestation will no longer exist if there are enough water sources for farmers. Minister of Agriculture and Agricultural Cooperatives, Kun Pitipong Phungbunnna Ayuthaya, said it is imperative for the Royal Irrigation, Land Development and Agricultural Extension departments to improve the quality of soil and assure an adequate supply of water for farmers. A team of academics is also needed in areas where farming is predominant. Farmers should be educated about how to improve the soil quality and the law against forest encroachment. The minister added that they should also learn to grow crops that require less water and apply the sufficiency economy philosophy in their lives. They need to continue to improve the quality of produce in order to fetch higher prices and help raise their incomes. And the beautiful Loi Krathong Festival in Sukhothai Province is being held for visitors to enjoy. From November 2nd till the 6th of this year at the Sukhothai Historical Park, the Loi Krathong Festival is held under the concept of reliving the past over 700 years ago, where beautiful local traditions are to be seen. Apart from the light and sound entertainments during the nighttime, daytime activities will also include sermons, replicas of Sukhothai villages, Krabi Krabong performances, and Thai boxing. A variety of designs for kratongs will also be available for tourists to purchase and release into the many ponds within the historical park. One of the interesting highlights of the event, which was held since the 2nd of November, is the parade of Nang Nopamat, and also a huge kratong, which will parade around the historical park for everyone to witness its beauty. And Loi Krathong will be celebrated nationwide on the 6th of November, which is tomorrow. And that's it for the Thailand Moves Forward edition. We'll now take a short break. Coming up next, we have the international news for you. And here are the exchange rates and some of the commodity prices coming up on the screen.
Maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The fifth core value: maintaining preservation of Thai traditions and cultures.
How could you do that to me? Stop it! Huh? Don't you get it? I don't need you anymore. Enough! We're through. There's someone else in my life.
Say no to the past. Bring your own bag. Say no to plastic.
The public is invited to the 2014 Preserving Thai Culture with the Loi Krathong Festival at the government's Public Relations Department. On the 5th of November, you can watch the Nopamat Queen Parade, see concerts and performances by famous artists and celebrities, enjoy the culture court, amusement rides, and shopping for merchandise. On the 6th of November, you can attend the spectacular Loi Krathong Festival opening ceremony at the pond in the grounds of the Public Relations Department, Bangkok.
Hit the beach, see local sight, and soak in the spirit of the 4th Asian Beach Games in Phuket. From the 14th to 23rd of November, be a part of this exciting chart scene. Watch and cheer as the region's top athletes battle to be the best in 26 beach sports and help extend true Thai hospitality to the 4th Asian Beach Games. Hosted by the Ministry of Tourism and Sports.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Indonesia could decide as early as next week to join a China-backed Asian infrastructure bank as Southeast Asia's largest economy looks for extra funding to build much-needed ports, railways and roads. China's $50 billion Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, or AIIB, launched last month, is seen by the U.S. as a challenge to the Western-dominated World Bank and Asian Development Bank. Indonesian President Joko Widodo could announce the decision during a planned meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping on the sidelines of next week's summit of Asia-Pacific leaders in Beijing. Indonesia was not one of the 21 countries attending the launch of the AIIB because Widodo had just come into office and had yet to decide on whether to join. AIIB, in which China will hold a majority stake, aims to give project loans to developing nations like Indonesia. Let's have a look at the U.S. midterm results. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell defeated Kentucky Secretary of State Alison Lundergan Grimes in one of the nation's highest-profile Senate contests on Tuesday in the U.S. The five-term senator who spent 30 years in the Senate relentlessly portrayed Grimes as beholden to President Barack Obama, who remains extremely unpopular in parts of the red state. Grimes, on the other hand, made the case that Kentucky needed fresh ideas and a senator who would focus on the needs of Kentuckians rather than the partisan trenches of Washington. Despite his high unpopularity due to several partisan fights, including the push to repeal the Affordable Care Act and the government shutdown, McConnell was widely expected to retain control of his seat and possibly even become majority leader. Now, earlier Republicans were expected to pick up seats in the U.S. Senate, but polls showed 8 to 10 races are still toss-ups, and it is unclear whether they can gain the 6 seats they need to control the 100-member chamber for the first time since the 2006 election. Obama will face pressure to make changes at the White House if his party loses the Senate. A poll showed 75% of respondents believe the administration needs to rethink how it approaches major issues facing the United States. 64% said President Obama should replace some of his senior staff after the election. We have to see how the results turn out, as more results are currently being announced in the U.S. Moving on, the deadly suicide blast on Sunday evening at the Wagah border post in the eastern Pakistani city of Lahore has forced security to tighten throughout the area. The blast ripped through a crowd of over 200 people returning from a parade of paramilitary troops and a flag-lowering ceremony at Wagah border, the only road border crossing point on the Pakistan-India border. 59 were killed and over 100 others injured in the incident. Police and security forces have cordoned off the whole area and launched a search operation. The bomb squad said that they have found a suicide vest with 8 kilograms of explosives, which might belong to the bomber. Many residents believe that the tranquility they once had at Wagah border has now gone. Let's finish off with an arts exhibition. An exhibition presenting works from 4 artists from Pyongyang who spent 2 weeks on a special artistic tour of the British capital is being organized at the North Korean Embassy in London. This is the first time the embassy has opened its doors to the public. According to one of the artists back in North Korea, the painters belong to the elite Mansudae studio. It employs only the very best artists to produce portraits of the supreme leader Kim Jong-un and his family. North Korea is one of the most secretive states in the world, but for 4 days, the curious British public can set foot on a small piece of North Korean soil. And that brings us to the end of today's edition of Newsline. If you do have any suggestions or comments, please write to us. The email address is newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook. Have a look at our website if you want to keep abreast of the news that's happening all day. thainews.prd.go.th/newseng. Today we take you to a Grand Katin procession led by elephants in Surin province. So let's have a look at Surin Hakatin Chang Ying Yai, or so that's called in Thai. I'm Chalapan Sadarula. See you next time. Sawasdee ka.